graphic nature of this program, listener discretion is advised.
I like to take a flat panel display monitor, put one on the steering column, one inside of the glove box, one on top of the dashboard, two in back of the headrest, one mounted in the ceiling, two still in the motherfucking packaging on the back seat, so when my motherfucking friends go and sit on the shit and break it, I can honestly say, I just don't give a fuck.
Great to be here. Thank you so much for having me on your podcast.
You're listening to Two Strangers, One Podcast. Please visit twostrangersonePodcast.net.
Subscribe to us on iTunes or on the Stitcher app for Android devices. And now, here's Chris Cologne and Paul Pasquillo.
Well, hello and welcome to Two Strangers, One Podcast. I'm Chris.
I'm Paul.
And we're actually recording an early episode. That just blows my fucking mind that, usually when we go like 2-3 weeks without an episode, and who knows, this episode might even come out less than the week before the other one hits a week old, or whatever the case may be.
So you can blow me, Oscar. Anyways.
For once. And it's only because my schedule is a little different this week, because I'm actually, and like I mentioned last episode, I'm going down to New York City to go to the Titmouse 5-second animation film festival thing, where it's going to be once a year. The people at Titmouse, they allow, I forget, I know it's one day, I want to say, like, I don't know if it's the day after Valentine's Day or something like that, where they allow all the employees they come into work, but they don't have to work on any of the projects that are officially scheduled, for that day. They can do whatever they want. So they use all the resources, and they say that an average animator can get about 5 seconds worth of animating done in a day. That's the theory of it. And of course, when you watch, they kind of have like behind the scenes videos, and they kind of have, even while it was going on, Chris Pernosky, the president of Titmouse, on his Twitter, he put up a couple of links where like people were live screencasting their computers, where they were actually, you could watch them animate while, it's such a crazy thing the way nowadays, like everything, there's so much stuff going online, like there's these Twitch channels, like where you can watch people play video games, and now these people it basically, it broadcasts everything you're doing on the screen, and apparently all these people use this Cintiq is the name of the it's a big giant flat screen, but it's touch sensitive, and you're drawing right on the screen, and that's what pretty much all these animators use nowadays. And they use flash animation, and so there was screencasting, so that he put up a couple links where you could watch, so like you were literally, and of course watching someone, if you really sat there and watched it is kind of boring. But it's also, if you are an animator, or, because I've played around with Flash. I mean, I try to give it a try, just see like, oh, what can I do with it? Because not that I'm a good animator, not that I'm a good artist per se, but I always wanted to give Flash a try and see if I could animate, even if it's just like a cute little cartoon or whatever. But of course, when you really, like I said, when you watch the behind the scene videos and stuff like that, I mean, they obviously, all of these people obviously spend more than just one day on it. It becomes a passion project, and some people start a little early, some people continue on, well after the weekend, when it was supposed to be done. But it's these short films, and and you got to say, the people at Titmouse are fucking psychos. They're all, creative people tend to be a lot off center. So it was, from what I've seen, from the videos from the past like 2-3 years that have been available online, it's all really funny stuff. So I'm looking forward to going. I'm gonna see if I could hit up Chris Pernosky for maybe an interview or something like that. He's probably gonna be busy, but it doesn't hurt to ask. Even if it's just like a 5-minute segment, it would be pretty cool.
Can you take me with you?
I would love to.
I'm sick of Rochester right now.
I'm going, dude. I mean, I kind of like, I reached out to Matt. Matt was, Matt and I, when we went to go film our little parts for the Jack and Triumph show. I reached out to John J. Galvo from Swimcast, the Adult Swim podcast, and and I thought that would be right up his alley. I mean, the guy does a podcast about Adult Swim. Titmouse, pretty much, I would say 80% of their projects are on Adult Swim. I mean, yeah, they have like stuff on Disney XD and they have stuff on Nickelodeon, they have stuff on Netflix, but Adult Swim tends to be, between the Venture Brothers and, well, Metalocalypse isn't on anymore, but, Metalocalypse and China, Illinois, and pretty much, like I said, I would say about, I think it's safe to say about 80% of their stuff is on Adult Swim.
I almost wanted to say Rick and Morty, but I'm not sure about that one.
No, I don't think so.
No.
Rick and Morty's is a different studio.
But I wouldn't mind going down there now.
Okay. And it was weird when I've had my car for a month now. I think like today's officially been a month since I've had my new car. And we've had snow on the ground for the entire month, along with February being the coldest month in history, in recorded history. And that's like a fact. It's been all over the news. February has been the coldest month ever since we've been keeping track of records of cold February, of weather in general. My car has yet to see a dry road. Like I said, it sucks driving a rear-wheel drive car in the fucking snow. It really does. I can't wait for it to warm up. But right now, as of like today was a weird kind of combination because it was warm, then it snowed, but now it's warm again.
Yep.
So all the snow is melting now. And as I where I live, the parking lot, it's plowed, but it isn't really plowed. And on my way to my door, I'm walking through giant piles of melting snow.
I'm not surprised.
And when at least like before, when at least when it was frozen, at least, okay, you're slipping and sliding, but it's solid. I'm actually like sloshing through. I felt like, and I did a little food shopping, tonight. I went to Walmart and I did a little food shopping. And so I had to make like 2 trips to the car and back. And, you're like, like I got a workout just walking back and forth, from this fat bastard. I don't like to fucking move. Fat guys don't like activity. So,
it's kind of funny though too, is because like it's only really been a month that we've been dealing with all this, and it feels like it's been longer, and it feels like it should be, we should be bitching about this more, but it's really only been like February's only been I'll say part of January too, but like really like we didn't really have that much snow on the ground at all for a while there. And also like I didn't even think we were going to get any snow, and then all of a sudden it just, it was like winter went. It's like winter took like a huge dump, and it was like, okay. We're here. Yeah, exactly.
Right in your face.
But I think this is the sign that it is going to get like March is going to start getting warmer, and hopefully we'll start seeing warmer temperatures starting in the next couple of weeks. So,
but think about it. We've had all this incredibly it's been like I said, up here in Rochester, it's been fucking -4 degrees and -5 degrees and -9 degrees. This snow has been doing nothing but building up. When the weather gets a little warmer, all this shit is gonna melt and has to go somewhere. So you watch when there's gonna be on the news that people have basements flooded, water damage, needing a sump pump. I mean, I live on street level, but and the way things are shaped around where I lived, I mean, the water is gonna go downhill. But if you're a property owner,
yeah, I'm
fucking pissed off, man.
I mean, I just hope like I hope there isn't like a day where it's like a week where it's like 70 the whole week, because I don't want to be around here when that happens.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty nasty.
But there again, like it wasn't like Buffalo where they got like 60 inches in one day, so. Thankful for that, at least. And we haven't gotten that bad, so. That's it's not the only reason why I want to get out of Rochester, as you know.
Oh yeah, well, I mean that's sort of like with my plans of going down to New York City. I had to make special arrangements because usually I have Mondays and Tuesdays with my daughter. Well, Sunday nights until Wednesday morning with my daughter. I had to make special arrangements with my baby mama so I can have my daughter with me, because I really wanted to go down to New York for this trip. And I was going to do it anyway, but I would have really liked to have my daughter with me, which as of right now, let me find some wood to knock on. I will be taking my daughter with me. Hopefully my baby mama won't have like some sort of change of heart or whatever. But, part of this, usually we wouldn't record on a Tuesday night because I have my daughter with me. But, so the concession that I had to make was that I promised I would take my daughter to go see her other grandmother, my baby mama's mama, while I went down to New York City, because she's staying uptown Manhattan, the Bronx, somewhere around there. So,
Well, at least yours will take concessions.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. You've been kind of having, we're the baby daddy club here. So, so
okay.
Having issues with your son's mother.
I don't usually say anything about my ex because I don't like to start shit where I don't need to start shit. But like for the past 3 weeks, okay. First of all, I have a 9-year-old son. If nobody knows that, so for those of you that don't know that, I do have a 9-year-old son, and he does mean the world to me, obviously. Mm-hmm. But for the past 3 weeks, I haven't seen my kid, mm-hmm. and it's not me. It has nothing to do with me. And it's just like, it's without going into too many details of why it is and why it isn't. It's just, it doesn't make any sense why and you know what I'm talking about, Chris, when you're paying child support, you're not beating your kid, you're not doing anything wrong, that the ex decides to just cause you pain and anguish.
Yeah, because unfortunately, you give, and I'm not saying unfortunately in this day and age, and it's the pendulum swinging back, we live after a series of horrible, horrible fathers. I'm saying, unfortunately, as times change, men are starting to be more responsible for their kids, but the court system, and I'm not trying to get on a soapbox or anything like that. I'm just speaking how I feel. The court system definitely favors the mother. Well, nowadays, the mothers have too much power, in my opinion. The mothers and women are using children as a way to get back at the father.
Oh, yeah. And it's, look, I'm not the best father in the world. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I am, because I'm not. I learn things every single day. But, one of the things that I never do, and that's, I never don't say, hey, you can't see your kid. If my ex says, hey, I'm going to do something with my kid on this weekend, I'd like to have him, fine, whatever. Mm-hmm. I'm not objective to that, but it's gotten to the point where, like, I may actually have to take this woman back to court, and I may actually have to go get because I have a court order that says I can see my kid. I may actually have to go down there with the police and get my kid.
Because if I understand correctly, she's violating the court order right now.
Correct. Yep. And basically, it's going to come down to where this Friday I'm going to have to go down, depending on when I work. I'm going to have to go down, probably pick him up from his school, and just be like, look, I have Logan. I'm going to drop him off at the other father's, because my son has 2 other brothers by another father. Drop him off with the other dad, because that's where she's going to pick up the kids at. And, that's that. So I don't have to see her. And if she tries to put up a stink and she tries to come to my house and start trouble, there's a court order. What are the police going to do,
And it's so upsetting when you hear someone like, and this is something we were kind of talking about before the episode, that she feels that you don't respect her. Like, such an arbitrary,
it's basically gotten to the point where, like, okay, she said to me, well, I want more money. Okay, fine, I'll give you more money, but I need to have a guarantee that I'm going to see my son, because this shit can't go on anymore. Like, this, obviously, if you want my kid, if you want your money, fine, but I'm not doing it unless I get my kid. And, and basically I said to her, like, earlier this week, I said, hey, look, look, I'm not trying to avoid you or anything, but if you're not going to sit here and, if you're not going to let me see my kid, then there's no reason for us to agree on this, and look, here it is. You want this set of amount of money every month? Fine, we'll do that. But I'm going to see my kid every single weekend. Let's resolve this.
It's such a bullshit, arbitrary, like, you don't respect me. Who gives a fuck if you, and like I said, this is kind of like your personal business, and just understand that, I'm just expressing my 2 cents on what I'm receiving in a situation, and forgive me if I overstep my boundaries, but who gives a fuck how you feel? As if I was talking to her. Who gives a fuck how you feel, how disrespected? It's not about you. It's about your son. It's about your son having a relationship with his father. Now I can understand, like, if you were bad mouthing her to your kid, because that's actually like a legal thing. Like, if the judge will fucking have an issue with that. But like, because you're not jumping to her every fucking whim because she's calling you at the last minute to take care of stupid fucking things that she should have taken care of in the first place, and she feels disrespected. And then also, I mean, and I'm sorry, I'm getting a little passionate about this. She's
no, you're saying what I want to say, I guess.
And she's feeling a little like, I mean, you kind of said it yourself, is that you feel that the fact that you're in a new relationship, or you're in a relationship that she might be taking a little like, she might be making life a little hard for you. And it's like, who gives a fuck? I mean, as long as you're not bad mouthing the kid, her in front of the kid, and
oh no, and I never do that.
And I'm sure, there's nothing threatening if your kid happens to be around your fiance. You know what I'm saying? It's not like there's it's not like your fiance is some sort of horrible person who does drugs and lives a crazy lifestyle or anything like that. You're saying, oh, I don't feel like you respect me. Who gives a fuck what you think? Because you're supposed to be there for what's best for your child.
Exactly.
Who cares about what you feel? It's not about you anymore. It's about your fucking child. And I, once again, I'm sorry if I'm overstepping my boundaries, but it's just, it's frustrating because, when it comes, because, I mean, me and my daughter's mother butt heads on so many issues, and we really do. And there's times where I will sit there and I will swallow my fucking pride. I will sit there and I'll say, you know what, me and her are not going to, we're probably never going to see eye to eye. Her and I are probably never, ever, ever. But for the sake of my daughter, I'm going to just keep my fucking mouth shut, and don't get me wrong. If it was something that was really wrong, like wrong, then I'd speak up. But I mean, if it's just shit like, like I said, like if I don't feel my baby's mama respects me, and it's a big fucking deal. As long as it doesn't affect my daughter,
right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure she badmouthed me to my daughter, but I have no proof about it. So I have no proof of it, so I can't, I can't fight it. But, and let me tell you, I really don't. As much as I'll badmouth her here on the fucking podcast, I don't badmouth my baby mama to my daughter. That's damaging.
Right.
A child loves their parent, no matter how fucked up a parent is. Because my baby mama loves her mother, and her mother was a fucking drug addict, and did horrible things and dragged her around to fucking drug houses when she was growing up, and horrible things that would make you hate a person.
Right. Well, we don't need to bring those on the podcast. But
allegedly, okay, let's just cover my ass by saying allegedly this has happened.
Yeah,
and,
you don't need to get yourself in trouble there, my friend.
What I'm just saying is that, she didn't have a good mother, yet she still loves her mother,
Well,
and I don't want to damage the relationship between my daughter and her mother, but it's so I got to swallow my fucking pride on certain things.
Right, and that's the thing. Like, usually this is something that, like, lately, in the past couple, at least 2 or 3 years, we've been able to just be, civil and be in a relationship where we would communicate and just be okay for our son. But it's like, all of a sudden now, no, you're gonna do what I want, and it's just like why? Like, is it really because you want me to respect you, or is it because you don't like my fiance? Did you find out that I'm getting married? Was that what's going on here? And you're pissed off about that, so you're gonna try to punish me? Like, it's you don't have the right to do that. That's the thing. Like, and maybe I should be flying off the handle probably on this podcast, but I've already flown off the handle before a couple times. To me, like, I don't need this stress in my life, this stress that she puts in my face, and again, it hasn't been like this is the first time in a long while that she's been even like this, and it's just like, look, if it's about my fiance, you have no control over that. I'm sorry, okay? This is the love of my life. I'm gonna get married to her. We're probably gonna have a kid together. So if you're not gonna like it, too bad. I'm going to take you to court, get what I want, you're going to get what you want, and we could have done this the easy way. Mm-hmm. Like, that's the thing. Like, I don't really want to take this to court. I just want to resolve it and move on. But she's the one that's bringing it to the point where it has to go. And at the end of the day, she's going to look like the bad parent in the situation. And there's been some situations recently where that didn't even involve my kid that she has. I'm not going to say what they are, but it's to the point of where, Chris, like, it's like, you know, you want to sit here and say, well, you know, you don't respect me or anything. And it's not about not respecting you. It's about the fact that when you do certain things like this, how am I supposed to respect you as a mother?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, if you want me to respect you as a mother, don't deny me the right to see my kid when you know damn well I could take that document and shove it up your ass and get my kid in 2 seconds. You know, like
it's obvious. She's obviously doesn't have the kid's best interest at heart.
No, and
if she's playing these fucking games by not letting you see your kid,
right? And again, I don't want to go too far because, you know, when if we do end up having to go to court, you know, I don't want to, you know, she's like, well, this is what he said on Two Strangers One podcast. Because you know how lawyers are. They go searching and, you know, oh, look, Paul is on this and this and this and this. And, you know, but for me, basically, like, and this is a message to everybody out there that, you know, these mothers think that they can just run over you with like a steamroller. No, if you have the right to see your kid, if you're not beating your kid, you're a good father, you do what you can, and, you know, you're not, you know, hurting your kid in any way, there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to see a kid, especially if you have a court order, you know. And basically, I'm going to have to do what I got to do. I'm hoping that, you know, it can be resolved, and I'm hoping that, you know, tomorrow if I text her and say to her, look, I don't know what we need to do here, but I'm going to say this one more time. Let's resolve this and move on, okay? If you don't want to see me, you don't want to talk to me, fine. You don't have to. But let's resolve this and move on.
Yeah. And you're paying child support. You're doing everything that you need to do. You know, when you were seeing your kid, you're doing everything while, you know, with your kid when you had time to see your kid. You know, like before you stopped seeing your kid, you were doing everything you needed to do. And quite frankly, you're still doing everything you need to do because you're still paying child support.
Right.
You know, you're still upholding your end of the deal.
And here's the thing, like, I was going above and beyond what I was even supposed to be doing. Like, she would call me, like, she called me to ask for a ride. And I'm like, and I'm looking at Kelsey, and I'm like, like,
yeah, I'm not a fucking car service.
Like, I don't understand here, like, you know, and she's literally, like, sitting there begging me to give her a ride, and I thought that it was just to, you know, take her to the dealership or something for her car. I ended up taking her to, I think it's still her boyfriend, or her fiance. I have no idea what's going on with that situation, but it's just like, you know, what does he think about that? Like, you know, like, I'm sitting here looking at Kelsey, like, why am I doing this? Like, you know, I have a girl. I don't need to take you anywhere. This isn't even involving my kid. You know, like, and I'm trying to be nice, and I'm trying to be cordial, and I'm not trying to be a dick about it. But I've even said to her, like, last year, I said to her one time, I'm like, you gotta stop. You know, I understand that you're having problems. You know, I understand that, you know, things will come up and you may need some help, and that's fine. But you can't call me up every single week and be like, I need you to do this. Oh, and by the way, do it 30 minutes to an hour before my kid gets out of school. You know, when I've already had plans and I'm doing stuff with, you know, basically my family now, you know, and, you know, and then use that against me because, you know, oh, God forbid I have my own life, you know, God forbid that when my son's in school, keyword in school, God forbid that I'm doing stuff during the week when my son's in school. You know what I mean? Like, it's just one of those situations, Chris, where, like, you know, and I really need to stop because I'm going to continue to bitch and I'm going to get myself in trouble. So, but, you know, just basically, don't be surprised if I come on this podcast next week and say, oh yeah, guess what? I had to go get my kid. The police were called. They look bad. Oh, and by the way, also, I had to take my ex to court, you know?
Yeah, and it's, you know, it's sad that we gotta fucking live in a day and age where you have to, you kind of have to be an asshole to get things done. Like, you know, you didn't start this. It's not like you were doing something horrible or whatever, and you know, like she has no reason to fucking halt things the way they were court ordered. Everything was going fine but she feels some fucking kind of way, you know, now you're gonna gum up the works. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes and you have to be an asshole. And it's a shame that we live in a fucking day and age.
Chris, like, I don't want to be the asshole. I don't want to be the dickhead that has to pick up the phone, call 911, have an officer meet me, you know, at such place at a certain time to pick up my kid just so there's no trouble.
Yeah.
You know, I shouldn't have to be that way. Like, if we've been cordial all this time. Now all of a sudden you want to be a bitch?
Yeah,
like
but she's forcing your hand. You know, it's people who people who look for fucking trouble are gonna fucking find it, and she's looking for trouble. And I'm not saying anything for you to do anything illegal or wrong or anything like that. But
I'm not.
It's just but I'm just saying is like everything was going fine, everything was going good. Why are you fucking it up? And it's just
Exactly.
it's just it is like I hear your story and it kind of mirrors shit that's going on with me, and I'm so fucking frustrated right now. I'm so angry,
Dude, like it's ridiculous. Like if things are going well and you're being cordial between each other, okay, it doesn't matter if you don't like that person. If that person's not doing any drugs or anything, if that other person that's in that person's life isn't doing anything wrong, then why are we even having a conversation? If you don't like what I'm doing, suck it up. If it's a problem that you need more money, fine, I'll give you more money. But I will see my kid, and if you don't let me see my kid, it's gonna get serious. And then you're gonna look bad after other situations that are going on, which I'll tell you about after the podcast Monday. But it's Chris. It's like I'm sitting there the other day and I'm like, is Momocon here yet? Like, because I need to get the fuck out of fucking Rochester for a weekend, like, because. Dude, I am just, anytime that I talk to this woman, I get so drained, and I just, it just takes the happiness that I have now out of my life,
And see, now, if this was 30 years ago, you could have slapped her across the fucking face.
No.
I'm just saying, and the cops would, let's just say had she had the fucking audacity to call the cops would have fucking, the cops would have high-fived you, you know what I'm saying, and come let you get your kid. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't want to sound like that kind of guy, but 30 years ago, you could have handled this situation.
Well,
and the cops would have fucking given you a high five,
well, let me finish this up by saying this. Look, first of all, I wouldn't go to that degree because I'm not that kind of guy. There was one point where I almost hit this girl when we were dating, and I was just like, at that point, I was like, I need to get out of this relationship somehow. But that's neither here nor there. It's like my father. My father tells me all the time, well, you should just take the cops and go get your kid, But it's not that easy. Like, what he doesn't understand is, like, yeah, maybe back in the day he had more guys had more leverage. Now you literally have to prove without a reasonable doubt that the mother of your kid is being a complete and utter douchebag and treating them like shit. And beating them and whatever. I hate to say this, but literally your kid has to be bleeding. Literally bleeding for them to take the kid out of the situation. And that's sad. Like, if there's this pattern and there's being calls, made, and, you're starting to see this, then something needs to happen. Because, again, it shouldn't be, if you have something going good, just keep it going, okay? Resolve it. Done. No need to move out. No need to cause more trauma. No more drama in the life. Just end it. Resolve the issue. Move on. That's what I'm trying to do. And it's just like, whatever. Like, oh, and she had the audacity to tell me, Chris, that you need to bring me my child support. I'll be waiting for your phone call. Like, really? Like, I just don't understand. Like, I've really, like, reached my ending point with this girl, and it's just like, really, it's gonna suck to spend hopefully my parents are going to help me, and because they're not seeing their grandson either because of this, but which is completely and utterly stupid, but hopefully they'll help me with this, and I don't have to worry about the expense of all this, but at the same time, dude, like, I'm starting to feel like this is my only other choice, because if I don't do it now, when she does find out that I'm getting married, which is sad that I have to hide that fact, it's going to be like, well, gotta take you to court anyways because you're pissed about that,
Yeah.
So, sure you don't want to just, like, clone me. I'll have the clone work and then I'll just come with you. Because, oh, man. I fucking hate life sometimes.
Women. That's why we end up fucking watching cartoons and playing video games and shit like that, because you can't smack them across the face anymore.
Jesus Christ. You and smacking across the face. Should we call like the, I don't know.
Smack my bitch up.
Swatch my bitch up. Oh, Lord.
So with that, we'll be back with more dick and fart jokes.
This episode of Two Strangers, One Podcast is brought to you by Comics Etc. 1115 East Main and North Goodman at the Hungerford Building, door number 8. Find out more information at comicsetc.biz or like them on Facebook at facebook.com/comicsetc1.
Click and Hit, enhancing the experience for all recreational smokers. Click and Hit is a one-handed portable vaporizer. This smoking pipe has a compact 4-stage design, complete with a built-in, windproof, butane refillable torch lighter. The large burn chamber holds your stash of legal herb or pipe tobacco. Click the button to ignite and inhale as usual. When you are done, put it back in your pocket for later. Smoke anytime with the touch of a button. No more carrying around grinders and tins. Pipe, rolling papers, and even your lighter at home. The Click and Hit cordless vaporizer is no bigger than a normal cigar, making it the world's smallest and most discreet vaporizer. It's perfect for use in small places or shared rooms. It's efficient, getting 5 to 8 draws from your packed chamber. It's affordable at just $19.95 each. Buy 3 and the shipping is free. Buy 4 and you get the 5th one free. Visit www.click-n-hit.com. That's clickandhit.com. And now for listeners of Two Strangers One Podcast, you can use promo code STRANGERS and receive 10% off your purchase at clickandhit.com. That's promo code STRANGERS for 10% off your purchase.
And we're back. Oh boy. All right, let's lighten up the mood. Let's talk about things. Nerdy news.
Yes.
They released a new Avengers poster, which is okay. Now, of course, I'm excited. It's cool, but it's like, who is this news for? Like, who is this poster for? Other than like people who like collect. I mean, obviously, there's people.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's people that are excited and they're going to collect this poster. But
yeah, it's each actor's like releasing the poster for their character. Mm-hmm. This is what it looks like. So it's kind of like, is it really needed?
Yeah, it's like. Look, I think Marvel can pretty much expect that, they're going to have, and I don't know, $150 million that first weekend or whatever the case may be. I mean, right. maybe I'm being very optimistic, but, and don't get me wrong. I mean, of course I want them to release a poster, but it's like, we're all going. You know what I'm saying? Well, you got nothing to worry about. We're going. We're there.
I was talking to you a little bit about this because I was reading an article about how, these people are, the people in the industry are saying how like box office for the last 4 years has been down altogether every year, and it makes me laugh because like big movies like this, they spend all this money on, we need to have 3D, we need to have IMAX, let's have a regular version of it too, on screen, and it's like, when are you going to get the picture that nobody wants to see your movie in 3D? Like, IMAX, fine. IMAX, go right ahead, because I can tell you right now, we live in Rochester. I know for a fact that the IMAX, when a movie like this comes out, sells out way before it even, like, when it goes on sale, probably by the time it's, like, say that week, it's sold out by that Monday. That, like, it's supposed to come out on Friday, it's sold out on that Monday. And and it's sold out for the whole weekend. Mm-hmm. Like, so IMAX makes sense. Regular movies make sense. Nobody wants to spend $500 on 3D. But, part of the problem that we're seeing in the industry, mm-hmm. and that I've seen as a problem is, they're shoving 3D down people's throats, and people are going, no. Why do I want to see a movie in 3D when I can just wait till it comes out on Blu-ray or DVD and watch it,
Well, it's also, I mean, I think if you're sitting at the box office, or even if you're planning for it, like, if you're there and you're like, I can see the movie at one screening, or I can see the exact same movie, $4 cheaper, half an hour later. What do you think? I mean, of course, there's a lot of people who that decision, and especially nowadays, if you're bringing a date, I mean, we don't usually, I mean, call me old fashioned. If I'm going to the movies, I'm either bringing a date with me or my daughter, or
right.
I'm bringing somebody with me. So if I can save $8,
and here's the thing that really annoys me too, and it's just really stupid. If you want a movie to do really well in theaters, here's here's what you can do. How about not have like 50,000 showtimes for that movie? Like, okay, fine. If you're gonna have a 3D, like, obviously not every theater here in Rochester or any area for that reason has an IMAX theater. So, okay, fine. So you want to have 3D, you want to have both 3D and a regular version. Okay, so you give every single movie theater a regular version of it and a 3D version of it. And then people decide which movie theaters they want to go to. And as theaters sell out, they'll just go to whatever. Because like around here, we have 2 theaters now that have luxury seating. Those theaters sell out, like tickets will go on sale. They'll be sold out Thursday. Like the pre-openings of those shows sold out. The next day when it comes out on Friday, and that whole weekend all sold out. That's why the industry is doing so well, because people are actually being forced to have to go to these other theaters because luxury seating sells out and they don't have anywhere to go. You know what I mean? So but yeah, what I'm trying to say is like, I think Marvel, and it's not just Marvel, it's all these big movies, they try to bring out all these posters, and what they're trying to do is, because of these, and this is the point I'm trying to make, because of this supposed box office decrease, which is bullshit, they're trying to sell merchandise. And part of the merchandise is posters. Dude, don't tell me that somebody, like you were just saying, somebody probably collects every single one of those posters, frames that shit, and puts it on the wall. Mm-hmm. So now you walk into the room, they got the Hulk, they got Scarlett Johansson's character there.
Black Widow, they got
Black Widow, they have
Nick Fury,
they have Iron Man, they have the Hulk, if I didn't say that, Thor, the list goes on, because obviously the Avengers is probably going to change a little bit here coming up anyways, but point that I'm trying to make, they're going to try to make as much money off of these movies as they can, so they're going to do merchandise, they're going to do 3D, they're going to do all this stuff, and that's why they do it, is to make as much money. And by the way, and I've said this, I think I've said this on this podcast before, but let me say it one more time. Movie theaters aren't going anywhere, okay? And it's simple why they're not going anywhere. You make, I would say about, let's say like a Spider-Man, okay? When it's not Amazing Spider-Man with a British actor. Let's take the original trilogy, okay? And let's just call it number 3. But you're making $500 million in the first couple months of it being out. Then, several months down the line, it comes out on DVD and Blu-ray. You're making another, let's say at least $5 to $10 million in physical sales. So you're going to put a movie out. You're going to take movies out of theaters and put it on Netflix and make shit in comparison to what you make in movie theaters? No. That's why movie theaters are nowhere near leaving, okay? I can tell you right now, that, there's going to be a decrease of theaters in areas. You're not going to see as many. And rightfully so, you should, there shouldn't be like, how many, there's 4 Regals in the Rochester area, which I include the one that's outside of Monroe County because it's right there on the border anyways. Then there's Cinemark, which has the Tinseltown. There's AMC, which is up in Webster, that has the luxury seating. There's a private-owned theater called Pittsford Cinema, piece of shit, personal reasons. And there's a couple other theaters in the area. Point that I'm trying to make is that these huge areas are so saturated with movie theaters that, the movie industry isn't doing well, or these individual theaters aren't doing well, because it's oversaturated. Take away 1 or 2 theaters, and it won't be so saturated, And I think I did 50 things with that whole conversation right there, but whatever,
Yeah, well, while I just want to kind of put this out there, and there's a thing right now. It's while we were talking about the Avengers. Robert Downey Jr. I guess the website is omaze.com/RDJ. That's Omaze, like amaze, like the word amazing, like amaze, but omaze/RDJ. And it's basically, they're looking to get people to donate to this charity, and the charity goes to this thing called Julia's House, which is, let me see, it's a hospice for kids with life-limiting conditions. But it's just what it is it's like it's a chance to win a contest where like you get to fly to LA and you get to go to the Avengers premiere, and you get to meet all the guys from the Avengers and Robert Downey Jr. and everything like that. So I just wanted to just put that out there. I mean, I'm pretty sure he doesn't need our help.
No, he doesn't.
But they're trying to, raising money for charity or whatever. So, I just, it's cool when these guys do shit like that. Did you see The Last Man on Earth? Oh no, I did not see I know what you're talking about, but I didn't see the episode, no. Yeah. Well, I guess spoiler alert. And I guess I was kind of, I mean, I was expecting this to go on, because you can't have a show called The Last Man on Earth. You know, well, I mean, you can, but you can't expect this to be like a series. You can't have, you know, I mean, I guess if you have a show like The Walking Dead, you know, I guess you can kind of have like post-apocalyptic world or whatever. But it was Will Forte,
right?
And I don't like Will Forte. I did not like MacGruber. I don't know. You know, it's like it's one of those deals where like I want to like him. You know, like I understand. You know, there's people that I like him. So I'm like, okay, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I'm being too much of a cynical prick or whatever. But like I fucking hated MacGruber. I thought it was so fucking stupid. You know, it was obviously going for like really cheap laughs. Like I don't know. Sometimes when you watch certain things and it's like you feel like, really, did you have to go with, you know, him sticking a stalk of broccoli up his ass? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, in MacGruber, you know, that it's just like, oh, you're trying way too hard. You're really trying to cater to this lowest common denominator, and
it just seems like the concept of this new series is just, it doesn't seem like it's gonna last.
Well, I mean, spoiler alert, you know, I guess the show's name isn't lying. He's the last man on Earth, but he ends up meeting the last woman on Earth. So so technically, had they named the show The Last Person on Earth, it would have been deceiving. But the show ends up being The Last Man on Earth, which technically he is. So he ends up meeting Kristen Shaw, I want to say her name is. She was on Flight of the Conchords. She's the voice of the little girl on Bob's Burgers, the one that wears the bunny ears. That she looks funny. She looks like not, you know what I'm saying, like she's an ugly girl. I guess would be the best way to put it. She's not attractive and she has an irritating voice. But I guess, you know, if you're a comedic actor, you know, you don't have to be attractive to be a comedic actor. And hey, who am I to say anything about attractiveness? But, you know, and I knew it was going to happen. You know, I knew the first episode, I'm like, you can't have a show where it's just a guy by himself. And I thought it was going to be like, okay, maybe, you know, he comes across, you know, like a woman's diary, you know what I'm saying? Or like he falls in love with a woman that, you know, like his flashbacks, or she's inside a computer program. Or I said, you know, you can't have a show that's just going to be a guy by himself at the end of the world. You know, there has to be some sort of interaction, you know, like maybe he's hallucinating that he's talking to somebody, you know, and then you find out, you know, the whole gist of the show is that, you know, she's not there, but, you know, he's talking to her. I knew there was going to be some sort of angle to it like that, but, you know, it just turns out that yes, the name of the show was true. He is the last man on Earth, but the joke of the show is that she's a fucking ball breaker. You know, like, you know, as a guy, you know, if you're going to be the last man on Earth, you know, you're going to do whatever the hell you want. So like he goes to like park, like, you know, they hook up, you know, they connect, and now she's like, okay, we got to go get supplies. Let's go down to the supermarket. So he goes to the supermarket and he parks really close to the supermarket, but he parks in a handicap spot. And she's like, why are you parking in a handicap spot? And he goes, cause there's nobody in this, you know, there's nobody in the fucking world that will, you know, no one's coming. Everything's a parking spot. And,
right.
And, you know, then like she goes, well, why don't we just burn down a church? He goes, well, I can't burn down a church. And she goes, well, the same reason, why is that sacred, but a parking spot isn't, you know? And I was like, oh, you know, like, so the gist of the show is, you know, you finally, you are the last man on Earth, and you know, he spends a good chunk of time by himself to the point where, like, you know, he's growing a beard, and, you know, he's been alone for like over a year now. And, you know, they kind of like hint, I mean, he basically admits that like he jerks off all the time or whatever because he just can't find a woman. And then when he finally finds a woman, she's a fucking ball breaker. Like you can't just sit back and go, okay, you know, let's repopulate the planet or whatever. She's got to fucking make him, you know, play by the rules. And like, what fucking rules? There are no rules anymore. It's the end of the fucking world. You know, we're the last two people on the planet. So I was it's an interesting concept. I don't think it's going to last. It's probably going to just be this one season because I can't see something like that going on for a long time.
Yeah, I can't really see that happening.
You know, I mean, I enjoy the concept, but also, like I said, Will Forte just irritates me. You know, like I want to like him and I don't. And so that kind of...
And I don't, so this is going to suck.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, you want to like, it's the same thing like Bob's Burgers. Like, I don't like Bob's Burgers, but other people like it. And it's like, it just irritates me. But since it's between Simpsons and Family Guy, you know, or at least it was in between Simpsons and Family Guy. Now it's on after Family Guy. But like, and now they have that Brooklyn Nine-Nine with what's his face? The guy from, Saturday Night Live and Lonely Island, and I forgot his fucking name, but he irritates the shit out of me also. They switch shows. It used to be Bob's Burgers, irritates the shit out of me. Now it's Brooklyn Nine-Nine, except that there's other people on the show that I like. I like Joe Latrulio. He was on the show called The State from the 90s. That was a show that I loved. And I love Terry Crews. Terry Crews. There's something about Terry Crews. I have a certain respect for Terry Crews. So, I like him. But the main character of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and I can't believe I'm drawing a blank on his name. He just irritates me. But he's Jewish, because in the show, and maybe because I haven't watched the show, he mentions like having a bar mitzvah, but his last name is Peralta, and I'm like, how the fuck? Unless what, his father's Spanish and his mother was Jewish, and he's following his mother or whatever. But I just don't understand how this obviously Jewish character has a last name Peralta, but Peralta's a notoriously Spanish name. I kind of saw something the other day. I kind of saw something yesterday on Facebook, and maybe you could enlighten me. Is Dragon Ball Z releasing a new movie?
Yeah, you didn't know about that?
No, well, I saw it like trending on Facebook, and I was just like, oh.
Oh yeah, we reported it on TsunamiFaithful.com. Basically what happened was because of Battle of Gods doing so well, they decided to keep doing movies. The next one is on the American side, we're calling it Revival of Frieza, because basically what it is Frieza, they use the Dragon Balls and wish Frieza back to life, but apparently, well, he has a new form, which is just basically he's gold, and like he's a god too or something. So I don't know. I mean, it looks like it's going to be good, and I know it's going to make a lot of money. I'm just hoping, because over in Japan it's supposed to be in 2D and 3D, so I don't know how that's going to translate over here. If they do it the way that I think they're going to do it, then they can do it that way. But if they don't distribute it the way that I think they're going to distribute it, then it's not going to be the way that it is,
So right now there's no official American name for it? Is that what's going on?
There's no, dub of it over here yet. It comes out on April 18th overseas. So basically, once that happens, it should come over here at some point. But, and I expect it to be early next year. But there again, as quickly as they've been dubbing things these days, it could be here within a couple months, and it could be dubbed. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But
like, I remember like listening to because I listen to Tsunami Faithful podcast, and like when they make a show like Space Dandy, I mean, nowadays they plan it to be dubbed in English and in Japanese at the same time, right? I mean,
no, that's not how it is Well, okay, so
I mean, and you would think, I mean, it's not like we're talking about some fucking random fucking anime,
no,
Dragon Ball Z.
Funimation has been doing what's called simuldubbing, which is, it'll come out subbed, which is Japanese, usually, and then it'll, shortly after that, it's dubbed in English. There's an English dub, which Funimation will do, or whatever company. It's just Funimation right now, but the turnaround right now is nothing. So yeah, you would think that they would turn this one around really quickly, but there's no real clue as to if this is actually going to happen or not,
I mean, so. I don't know. I don't think it needs to be, you don't have to be a big, anime strategist to understand, like, hey, look, let's just automatically, it's gonna hit the U.S. shores, so let's just, from day one already have, American voice actors in the studio.
See, that's the thing, too, is it's distributed by 20th Century Fox. And
okay.
I was talking about this before it was actually revealed that the whole cast of Dragon Ball Z was going to be back. The question was, how was Funimation going to be able to do this movie? Because, they own the rights to Dragon Ball Z over here. How are they supposed to do that when 20th Century Fox has the rights to the movies? And we assume that, okay, well, movie rights are the same as, the movie rights are different than what they are. And, I guess basically what happened was either, and I don't know the details, so I'm just guessing at this point, but either 20th Century Fox went, okay, Funimation, you're going to be in charge of, we're going to be on this, but you're going to be the one that's going to distribute this movie over here and take care of all that. Whereas, 20th Century Fox did it overseas with Toei Animation. And obviously Toei Animation is included over here, but, it's more or less they were the ones that created the show, and Funimation's just taking care of everything. Does that make sense?
All right, yeah, makes sense, yeah.
And I think, basically, it was either that or, 20th Century Fox was like, well, Funimation does Dragon Ball Z. We want it to be the exact same people doing it, so why don't we just have them do it? We'll make a deal, and then it all comes out. Because at the end of the day, they're going to make a shit ton of money anyways. So I kind of hope that this movie will actually get a wide release, but I'm not too sure that's going to happen. It really, I mean, with Dragon Ball Z being as big as it is, it should happen, but I just don't know, to be honest with you. So
yeah, damn it. So also in nerdy news, and if I'm reading this correctly, a couple months ago, John Schnepp, one of the co-creators of Metalocalypse, also works at Titmouse. He's putting together a movie that was kickstarted, and then he used a couple other crowdfunding sites, but it's called The Death of Superman. It's called The Death of Superman Lives. What happened? Because that was the movie that was supposed to be Tim Burton's directing a Superman movie called Superman Lives. They had Kevin Smith wrote like one of the drafts for the script. It was gonna star Nicolas Cage, and there were some like leaked photos online of Nicolas Cage wearing like this funky glowing Superman outfit. Well, it turns out for those, and I actually I threw $25 his way because I wanted you get your name in the credits and you get a download of the movie. So it's coming out May 1st. So we're just like 2 months away from seeing The Death of Superman Lives. What happens, and that's going to be fucking awesome because John Schnepp is such a funny, fun guy. I wonder if he's going to be around for the animation thing. I don't know. He kind of does his own thing on the West Coast with he's part of this. It's called AMC Movie Talk and a couple other things. So I just came across that so finally, after all this time, because not all this time, but it was kickstarted like earlier last year, and so I guess he got it all together. What else? So I guess on other nerdy news, I don't know, did any of the theaters that you were working at or whatever, did they have the movie Ender's Game? Because that movie kind of like came and went real fast.
Ender's Game. What the hell was Ender's Game?
It was. I mean, the one thing. One of the stars. He's not the star of the movie. One of the stars was Harrison Ford. The other star was Viola Davis, who is on the show, How to Get Away with Murder, and I believe is going to be playing Amanda Waller in the upcoming Suicide Squad movie. It had. Oh shit, I forgot the name of the other actor. Basically, it was a book that came out in the early 80s called Ender's Game.
Right.
And it was kind of a, sci-fi, it's kind of like this, it's a futuristic world where the world gets attacked by alien bugs, and so what happens is they start drafting like kids, like literally 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, into like this military program because they want to have kids be strategists, in the war, so they want to, so they they literally test, kids from, before they're born or whatever. And they kind of like teach them on video games and stuff like that to kind of like get them ready to learn about strategy and stuff like that. And I'm like super oversimplifying it, but the book was really, I finished reading the book the other day.
Oh, wait. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it was it was actually supposed to do better than what it did, and
I think what it was is because the whole cast of the movie is kids, and for the movie they made the characters a little older. I think it was trying to cash in on the whole like Hunger Games, Maze Runner, Divergent. I think they said, okay, let's here's an existing book, which from what I understand there's more than one, but the first book was so fucking boring that I had to like force myself to read it. I was literally reading maybe 6 pages at a time that I would read before I go to bed, and it was the best way to go to sleep because I was reading this boring fucking book. I finally got through it, and it literally doesn't get good until like the last 20 pages. And so, because I said, I got a hold of the book, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to read the book first, and I'll hold off on seeing the movie. Then I got a chance, I saw the movie, and so the movie was actually directed by the same guy who directed Wolverine Origins, X-Men Origins Wolverine, I mean. So, let's not hold that against them. I know a lot of people don't like that movie. I do have to say, it was surprisingly faithful to the book. Except that in the book itself, like I said, they're drafting kids at 5, 6, 7 years old to go into the military. So in this weird kind of like military style training. And so the kids they're in like a boot camp, and there is a disturbingly large amount of scenes in the book about like naked 6-year-olds. And it was like, dude, there's gotta be something wrong with this fucking author. He's gotta be into kiddie porn or something like that, because nobody should write that much about naked 6-year-olds. It was very, very disturbing. Thank God, at least like in the movie, there was like no nude. Well, there, and then there is one of the changing important scene of in the book was in a movie where these kids go to fight the main character right after he got out the shower. So at least at least in the movie he's wearing a towel around his waist or whatever, but in the book he's not. And it's like, why I don't, I understand that obviously if you're going to have a boot camp and kids are going to be in a shower or whatever, they're going to be naked, but just fucking way into fucking too much fucking details. Very, very, very fucking disturbing. And on top of the fact it was a boring book, it had these fucking very, very odd scenes. So luckily, at least in the movie, they made the characters a little older. Of course, they kind of had to have the scene in the shower when it came to like the fighting or whatever, but at least the kid was wearing a fucking towel. So it's not a bad movie. It's so funny how like quickly it got shit canned. Like people like, and I was like kind of looking up online, and people were like, oh, this movie's horrible. And maybe it's because I actually read the book, but and don't get me wrong, the book is boring, but the movie's very loyal to the book. And I just wanted to bring that up because it's just like, one, it's a nerdy news. And so, it's worth a rental at the very least, and it's interesting to see like the guy who directed fucking X-Men Wolverines or X-Men Origins Wolverine, his later work. So I just wanted to, and then okay, so I also saw, and this is not really nerdy news, but I guess I watched the movie Silver Linings Playbook. Yeah. And I said, okay, no, because it has Jennifer Lawrence in it. I'm like, okay, Jennifer Lawrence, when all those nude pictures were released to her last year, and she's smoking hot. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna watch this movie. I said, how bad can it be? Not how bad. I think people like talking about this movie like it was this greatest fucking movie. And it also has Bradley Cooper, who was Rocket Raccoon. So it's a movie with Mystique and Rocket Raccoon. I'm like, how bad can it be? And not that it was bad. It's got Robert De Niro, and let me tell you, the movie was so fucking stupid and not like, I don't want to say boring. Boring's not the right word, but it was just like so like nonsensical, and he's going through some trauma because he found out his wife was cheating on him, so he ended up going to like a fucking mental institution. And then her character, like her husband died, so then she like, for her to deal with the fucking like coping with like death of her fucking husband, she just becomes like a gigantic slut. And I'm like, if this movie didn't have attractive people in the starring roles, it would have been a repulsive fucking movie, because they're both fucking idiots. You know what I'm saying? There were two like people that you want to punch in the fucking face, and I don't know, they were trying to make them like endearing, and it just didn't fucking work. People were like, oh, it's such a great movie, and and even like Bradley Cooper, who I like. I liked Limitless. I like him as fucking Rocket Raccoon. I'm looking forward to seeing American Sniper, which actually is the book I'm reading now. I'm actually reading American Sniper now, the Chris Kyle story. So I'm reading the book first before I watch the movie on purpose. I like Chris. I like what the hell's his name, Chris Cooper, or whatever. And it's just, I don't know. So I just wanted to put that out there. That Silver Linings Playbook. As much as I love what's her face, it's a stupid movie. So I guess we're going to wrap it up.
That's what she said.
And we'd like to tell our audience you can visit us at twostrangersonePodcast.net. That's twostrangersonePodcast.net.
.net.
I'm fucking falling apart here.
That's what she said.
where you can find links for all things show related. If you have an iPhone, iPad, iPod, you can find us in the iTunes store, or you can find a link on twostrangersonepodcast.net that will bring you to our iTunes page so you can subscribe to us. You can go back in another month. This show will be 3 years old. You can actually go back to 3 years worth of podcasts and say, hey, what was Chris thinking about back in 2011 or whatever? Or no, 2012, excuse me. Was it 2012? Yeah, 2012. You can go back and listen to the evolution of the show if you give a shit. You can go, if you don't have an iPhone, iPad, or iPod, you can find us on the Stitcher app. That's STITCHER. Oh my God, I guess I'm tired, so my lips don't want to work. And what I like about Stitcher is that you can download all your favorite podcasts, download them while you're in your Wi-Fi spot, go to McDonald's, Starbucks, your own house, public library, get the 6 most current episodes, and while you're out and about during your day, you can listen to the podcasts throughout your day without having to waste your data, which is fucking awesome. So you can save your battery and save your data plan if you're like me and have to pay for fucking data. If you want to follow us on Facebook, you go to facebook.com/twostrangersonepodcast. That's all spelled out. If you want to support the show, just take 2 seconds to just share this particular episode, share the page itself, share links to any of the episodes on Facebook. It just takes 2 seconds. If you're on Twitter, we're at Stranger Podcast, and I keep saying I'm going to be more active on the Twitter, and it's just, I don't know. I get in front of my computer, and I got 50 things I got to do.
You're just some little bastard is what you are, you son of a bitch.
And so, I mean, we're getting up there. I mean, we have a 5 gig, we have 5 gigs worth of storage, and we're like at 4.5 gigs. So I don't know how long we're probably going to start to, I don't know if I'm going to delete old episodes, or maybe I'll slowly transfer them over to a SoundCloud, or I don't know. It's going to work out. I don't know how it's going to work out, but, that's one thing we may do. Or I may do. Let me see. If you want to write us, like Oscar, and I bet this episode is going to surprise the shit out of him. You can write us at twostrangersonepodcast@gmail.com. Once again, that's all spelled out, twostrangersonepodcast@gmail.com. I'm working on something. I'm working on a video blog. I'm still trying to edit some of these videos or whatever. I'm starting to do a little bit of like my own like little content, just like, things that not that they don't fit in the podcast, but it's just, I have too much time on my hands, people. So I might as well do something else. So when that comes out, it'll be all over my page and all over the Facebook page. So I don't know. It's something I'm playing with the idea of. I've recorded like 3 videos so far just to see if I can get them to work. But when they come out, they'll come out. And the name will be the Stranger Vlog, but it'll be on the Two Strangers One Podcast YouTube page, which we haven't really used that much of.
You son of a bitch.
Well, it's just giving me something to do. I need to stay busy or I hurt somebody.
Need to hurt somebody.
And so with that, I'm trying to, I don't know why I feel like, well, of course, on the Stitcher app, there's, Kevin Smith's Smodcast, Chris Hardwick's Nerdist, Mark Maron, Adam Carolla, This American Life, and of course, the Tsunami Faithful podcast. Any podcast worth listening to is on the Stitcher app. It's what I use when I drive down to New York City in a couple of days. It's exactly what I'm going to be using as I drive down to New York City. Be listening to all my favorite podcasts on the 6.5-hour drive down, the 6-hour drive down there.
Yep, you'll listen to every episode of Tsunami Faithful podcast.
Absolutely.
Bullshit.
I listen to the episodes. I mean, I kind of like, sometimes I'll get in a groove when I'm listening to podcasts, because I like to listen to podcasts like when I'm doing shit, like if I'm on a computer or whatever, and I just want something playing in the background. So I've listened. I mean, I'll be honest, I've missed like the last 2 episodes, but I listen.
I don't like you right now.
I acquiesce the floor to you, sir.
All right. Well, as usual, you can find me on Twitter at Paul Pascrillo. My last name is spelled Pescrillo. You can come to my Instagram. It's instagram.com/Paul Pascrillo. I have some pictures up there. Having some fun with my beautiful fiance, as well as giving you weather pictures. And by the way, some people have been harassing me about the fact that I put up weather pictures. There's a bunch of people around the world that ask me, "Oh, how's the weather up there? I hear it's really bad." And I just take a video or a picture because people keep asking me the same question. So if you want to make fun of me, go fuck yourself. And if you want to ask me questions, it's ask.fm/Paul Pascrillo. Please ask me any questions that you have. In regards to what I talked about tonight, I will not be answering any questions involving my ex. So let's get that out of the way right now. Yeah, so that's it.
So
wait a minute. Sorry to interrupt you. The podcast is actually up on geekyinc.com now. So if you go to geekyinc.com and you catch our movie reviews, which we're doing now it's every week or every 2 weeks, depending on what the movie is. You'll see us, you'll see our podcast right there. So, yeah.
Nice. So we certainly hope you guys enjoyed listening and had as much fun as we did recording. Thank you for listening to Two Strangers on Podcast. I'm Chris.
I'm Paul.
Don't be a stranger.
Peace. Well,
bye. You should be fapping.
All in my face.
All right, here we go, man. Go ahead. You want to read
Double Jackpot.
What is it?
It is a self-published book by Christopher Cologne.
Chris Cologne? Smells good to me.
But
look at her. That broke that fucking cold little exterior. He's like, hee.
But it is spelled Colon.
Him punny.
But Double Jackpot is a book about a comic book artist, Eric, who is in a loveless relationship with a materialistic
I feel you, Eric.
Lynette.
Oh, fucking. Are you sure I didn't write this? Sounds hauntingly familiar.
He starts cheating on his girlfriend with a more creatively supportive woman, Nadia.
Well, I gotta meet her. Where's the Nadia?
There's your summer girlfriend.
Summer Nadia is Nadia.
Nadia?
Yeah, I think Nadia is spelled with an A.
All right.
Both Lynette and Nadia play the double jackpot, the largest payout in lotto history, much like the recent Powerball. Both girls play his birth date as the winning numbers. Eric is now stuck between two of the country's richest women. Who will he choose? It's not that simple. This is a clever fucking idea,
yeah,
man.
Is.
Look at her, fucking. She's impressed.
I am.
She got some summer reading. Christopher Cologne smells real lovely with an original idea. This is. I've never heard this before.
I haven't either. This is a self-published book, much in the indie spirit as Kev's Clerks.
Oh, you don't even need to name check me. This is just a good idea. You could stand on your own, man. You don't even have to be like, hey, remember Clerks? This is nothing like that. This is way more original than Clerks. This is a good idea, man. Why didn't I think of this?
I need something to read. This book is part of the Comic Books, Heavy Metal, Video Games Trilogy Book 2. Odd I See, A Tale from the Road, coming soon.
Right on, man. It's part of a trilogy. This is the first part.
Way to write, man.
He's seeking a literary agent. Motherfuckers, anybody out there? There ain't no literary agents listening to this show, I assure you, sure. Sure. I assure you, sure. But somebody know a literary agent? Hook a motherfucker up! Chris Cologne come up with an original idea. I should tell Raskin. That's a good fucking idea, to be honest with you. That's a fucking rom-com right there. Megan, get Raskin on the phone. Isn't it possible to get Raskin on the phone? No?
Yeah.
I want to run it past him, man. I want to, and if it happens, I get a taste, Chris Cologne. I get a whiff, if you will.
The book could also be ordered on www.lulu.com.
That's lulu.com.
I understand that. I just want to spell it out.
Normally one says it, that spells it. Still, lulu.com. What is that? Do you know what it is?
I don't know. All right. The book could also be ordered on www.lulu.com. Search for Double Jackpot Christopher Cologne. A paperback version of the book is $15 and a PDF file is only $5.
$5 is
Yeah.
insanely inexpensive. 15's not even that bad for a paperback version.
No.
This is $1 million idea right here. Like a movie about a dude who fucking is stuck between two chicks, both of who play his birthday and win the lottery. Come on! I can see that trailer. Chris Cologne is on to something. Nobody else can smell it but me.
I'll read it.
Thank you. I'm going to make that smelly joke.
I know. You're trying to get me to laugh again.
It worked once. Double Jackpot is a self-published book by Chris Cologne, man. It's the first book in his comic books, heavy metal, video games trilogy. Book 2, Odd I See, A Tale from the Road, should be coming out soon. Get all the information at Chris Cologne, like a motherfucker.
I
and
will
his
totally
book,
read this.
Double Jackpot. I'm serious. I'm going to recommend that to fucking Raskin. How is that not a movie? You know what I'm saying? This could be a sexy movie. You could do an R-rated version. There could be nudie in it, and you could show them fucking both chicks. Maybe a little penetration. Maybe a butthole shot. No butthole, no care.
I would like to formally apologize to Christopher Cologne. Right
No,
now,
sex sells. Chris Cologne will appreciate that. He's like, thanks for throwing a few buttholes in there, man.
Don't forget to check out twostrangersonepodcast.net, your one-stop resource for everything show-related. You can find links to subscribe to us on iTunes or on Stitcher. You could also find links to buy my book, Double Jackpot, on twostrangersonepodcast.net.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. And fuck you, I'm out.